our most recent Facebook Live posting, which people can go to the Facebook page, Karsch and Anderson, or the Ticket Facebook page, and stream live. And Evan's in here, and he said something wildly inappropriate, and
involved health class.
Whatever you want to say, man. I just don't think we should talk about it. And right as Wooly turned the mic on, and it could have got real bad.
You're right, credit. You'll battle through that. Sometimes you can't. Lord knows you and I have had our fits of laughter, and it's tough to go through.
It'll happen during a live read.
Yeah,
and
that's the problem.
That's the worst, because you're reading a script for a client. You want to and you burst out laughing. Sometimes it's good because the read turns into like 2 minutes because you can't stop laughing. But
when it happens with you and I, typically, if I start to laugh at something and I know you've got a live read going, and I know if you see my face you're going to lose it, I'll just walk out of the studio. I'll be nice to you.
Yes.
And you have, I think, done that to me as well.
Oh, yeah. I won't look at you. That's for damn sure.
Neither one of us walked out. Willie was doing the update, though.
This is also true. Very good point. All right, so a couple things here regarding Michael Fulmer and them limiting innings and whether or not that's a mistake to be doing it this soon. Here's an interesting point from Kevin and Ken. Doesn't it make more sense to let him pitch against Cleveland and skip the Seattle start?
Well, Seattle's an above 500 team.
Cleveland's a divisional opponent.
True. I don't know if I'd skip either one of the starts, is my point, I guess.
Another one here. In regards to Fulmer, check out how many Mets pitchers have undergone Tommy John surgery. They teach their minor leaguers timing tricks to increase velocity, put stress on their elbows and shoulders. That's why they'll limit his innings. He's a time bomb. That's from Ray and Ken. Well, I don't know. I guess I'd have to look at it and see if he really truly is a time bomb. I will tell you this. The Mets have done a great job of bringing up and developing young pitchers, drafting and developing young pitchers, and the Tigers snuck one out of there. And I'm just not big on limiting pitchers' innings in games like this, at times like this. They need wins, they need wins, they need wins. And if you got to shut them down later in the year, shut them down. But if you're going to make it to the postseason, then you pitch them no matter what because you're trying to win a championship. And I think you start taking them for granted, future playoff bursts for granted, if you're shutting a guy down and saying, oh, we're going to need him in the future. Well, yeah, but the future he might be starting meaningless games in September instead of meaningful. You just don't know. So you gotta milk it while you still got him, and he's good.
Come on, Minnesota on the schedule.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
Okay, I wanted to bring this up. Story of a judge in Louisiana. Now, perhaps you heard about Alabama left tackle Cam Robinson and the safety Hootie Jones. The two of them were in a car in a park that was closed, like 2 a.m., when police officers walked up, smelled marijuana, found a bag of marijuana, found a handgun in plain sight, and another stolen handgun under the passenger seat. Sounds like a pretty bad situation, doesn't it?
Doesn't sound good, Doug.
The mixture between drugs and guns can get you in a lot of trouble. But the district attorney there in Louisiana said there was insufficient evidence for Robinson on charges of possession and controlled dangerous substance of illegal possession of a firearm and for Jones on possession of controlled dangerous substance. Both were arrested mid-May in their hometown. Court appearance set for late last week was delayed before Monday's news. Here's what the district attorney said. I want to emphasize once again that the main reason I'm doing this is that I refuse to ruin the lives of two young men who have spent their adolescence and teenage years working and sweating while we're all in air conditioning. That's District Attorney Jerry Jones.
What?
They're not following up on this because I want to emphasize once again that the main reason I'm doing this is I refuse to ruin the lives of two young men who've spent their adolescence and teenage years working and sweating while we're all in air conditioning.
That's the reasoning?
It's horrible.
To stop pursuing this case?
Well, it says that there was insufficient evidence.
If there's insufficient evidence in the case to pursue it, as a district attorney, you say, we have insufficient evidence to pursue this matter. You don't say, well, these guys, they go out and they sweat a lot while we're inside the air conditioning. And while you're there having your snow cone, they're out getting their lather up. Does that make any sense in the world?
No, it doesn't. This bothers me right up there with the judge in the Stanford swimmer case. And you know what? I bet a lot of our listeners have watched the OJ 30 for 30 documentary, the Made in America documentary, which is incredibly well done. I mean, it's incredibly well done. However, in watching that, it became apparent that had something been done about OJ Simpson earlier and the domestic violence with Nicole Brown Simpson, it wouldn't have led to murder because he should have been arrested well before the murders. And this is everything that is wrong with the privilege of big-time college athletics and what comes with. This is everything. I mean, I love college sports. I love sports in general. But when your athletes are getting a pass because they can run fast or they're big, something is wrong. There's a lot of people that commit crimes that work incredibly hard, just not at a sport. And they might work incredibly hard outdoors. In fact, I would bet that their job to sweat outdoors, to become elite SEC football players, I bet that job in a lot of ways is easier than working construction outdoors. Because you've got all kinds of glory and pampered stuff that comes with, while the construction worker doesn't. You wouldn't let a construction worker off. This judge wouldn't let him off because of all of the hard work he's put in.
Well, that reasoning is what's ridiculous. If it was simply that we don't have enough evidence to put together a case or we're going to win the case or we're going to stop, yeah, okay, don't waste taxpayer money. Don't do it.
Sure.
But why on earth would you go public with the reasoning of this as being, well, these kids work so hard, they sweat so much in the off season. We're up here in our ivory towers and sipping ice water with cucumber and the air conditioning. It's awesome here, but we feel for the people outside really working. Shut up. Just make it as simple as, yeah, we don't have enough evidence, so we're going to move on to the next case.
It just doesn't make any sense. The other thing, I mean, it's not really the marijuana that's bothersome.
No.
It's the firearm and the stolen firearm.
Look, I don't mind if you're going to hit the medicine. Fine with me. Go ahead. I don't really care. As long as you're not operating a vehicle, don't worry about it. I'm okay with it. All right? I'm a little liberal when it comes to the Mary Jane. But when it comes to weaponry, stolen weaponry, that's a big issue. That's a major issue.
Wow. It just in this day and age, in this time, the fact that you have drugs and guns together is just horrible. I don't even know if I want to use the word judgment. It might speak to you being a really bad dude. A really bad dude, where the footings are laid for a crime that is incredibly serious. Far more serious than being in possession of marijuana.